Hello everyone, and welcome to the mess that is my train layout. I just wanted to do a very quick layout update. I've just been working on it tonight, just wanted to go over a couple of little things. It's been a long time since I've done an update. Not much to see, not much colour, not many trains. Apologies for that, but I'm getting there slowly, chipping away at it. For those who haven't seen it before, 8 foot by 16 foot, I think it is. So it starts off as a dual layer layout. This was the original layout that I had, and then I built everything around it basically. So I've had to do some modifications in here as well. I've got some new DCC engines. I just had old clunkers before, DC or analog clunkers, and they got around there fine, but I've had to cut out more of the rock face and the plaster and make a whole heap of mess basically to change the track around. Basically I obviously don't have a prototypical railway. It's just a freelance, I guess, or as I call it, freestyle railway. I've got these two loops here, which is actually the main line coming down here, going around the layout, then coming back out through here and up and around, and then I've got other various tracks which I'll have stations and other sidings and that sort of thing, sort of snaking their way under the dual level part of the board. I've just built this part here. Well, I'm still building it actually. I've put two sides on it just to show you the kind of idea. I'm actually going to paint that section blue like the backdrop, and probably put some buildings or a little town sort of along there. But that is actually where my little control area is going to be, and I'll take you in there now. Okay, so my idea is that I'll probably have a stool to sit on in here, so I don't have to stand up all the time. That's just basically laziness. But I've got the two controls in here at the moment. As you can see, the old is the Hills controller here, but I'm going to use that for lights. I've just got the little Hornby, just the standard startup DCC controller. I just thought I'd go with that one because I've never done it before, and I thought I'd just give it a shot. I'll probably upgrade. Well, I will upgrade later on, I guess. But it's not too bad. I've got a loco that I've been using with it, and it's pretty good. I've got this whole shelf here because I've never had a proper shelf for controllers, and I'm thinking that I'll obviously put switches and point switches and probably other light switches and whatnot in there. And from here I can get a really good view of the entire layout. So that's well, it was important for me to do that because I didn't want to sort of not be able to see part of the layout. I think I'm going to be pretty okay to see most of it here. I have got the other access hatch over there, which I'll keep open. I won't put sides around, but that's just in case of emergency, I guess, if I need to get up there. And that's a little bit thinner, that one, so that's a little bit difficult, but it's manageable. Okay, so I've got two new engines that I just wanted to do a brief overview of. This one is one that I absolutely love. It's well, I think it's very well detailed. It's a Russian decapod, and it's I had to change some of my track because I didn't factor in the fact that with the 5 wheels, or the 10 wheels I should say, sort of negotiating their way around some of the track, so I've had to adjust the way I'm sort of building some of the track. But this one's a beautiful little loco, and I think I actually got it second hand, and it was a really good pickup. I think it's got the right look, and it seems to go okay. It's got a little bit of a rock when it goes. I'm going to have to get the guys to check that out. It's also not DCC at the moment. I'm going to get the guys at my local shop to put a decoder in it because I'm just not confident doing that. I don't know whether it's a hard thing to do or not. Maybe you might like to leave a suggestion on that as to whether it's easy or not. I know it obviously does cost more to get the guys to do it, but I was just so worried about breaking some of the finer detail. That's from the Bachmann Spectrum range, this loco here, and I think it's a really nice engine. Okay, this is my other loco that I've just picked up recently. Been working with the DCC. It's a Atlas diesel. So obviously, as you can see, I'm mixing it up a little bit with types of trains that I have, but I just, as I said earlier, it's a bit of everything on this one. We'll call it a tourist track. It's probably how we'll get away with it. But so this is a great little loco actually. This is for someone having only really used old locos like this one. Just old hacks of trains really. I'm really impressed with the way this little loco runs, and watching everyone else's YouTube videos, I kept on thinking, how come the trains seem to be so quiet and so smooth and everything? Well, of course, I know now that I've got some new locos, and this one's really quite good. It comes equipped with sound, and it's and of course lights and everything else you'd expect. The only problem with it is that I think it's a little bit too loud. It's almost a little bit screechy, and I knew that I'd heard other YouTubers mention that before about the Atlas trains, the diesels, that they are quite loud or quite screechy. I can't figure out in the instructions how to turn the sound down. I've read them a few times and I just can't figure it out. If you've got some suggestions, please let me know if there's an easy way to turn the sound down or to just adjust the sound. I find myself using it for a while and then turning the sound off completely because it's just it does get quite piercingly loud. But it runs just beautifully. Yeah, it's just a little bit too loud, and I don't know whether the little Hornby, the little Hornby controller there that I've got, I don't know if that's just too limited and I can't change the sound on it or not. I'm not too sure, so I'm still quite new to this. So if you've got some suggestions, please let me know. But two very good trains there, and I'll show you one more thing. This is nothing overly special, but I quite like it, the Baltimore and Ohio a carriage there. It's I just think the colours are beautiful. It's hard to see in this light, but there's the dark forest green, black roof and whatnot. But it's actually a lighted coach, and I saw this. I just happened to see this in the second-hand cabinet at my local store, and it was only $25 for a lighted coach, and it really, if you were to look closely at it, it really looks like it's never been touched. It's amazing. The only problem was, of course, being second-hand, I couldn't get any others. So I couldn't get enough to make a rake, or I couldn't get enough to. Well, I couldn't even get a second one really to run around. So I don't exactly know what I'm going to do with it. It all works fine. The lights and everything work beautifully. I'm not sure what to do with it. I could cheat and just make it a sort of a one carriage dining car or something like that, or I'm not too sure. I might just have it sitting on a siding as well, which would seem a bit of a waste, but I'll figure something out there. Who knows? One day I might stumble across its brother or sister. It's an unknown, I suppose. But so that's a good little pickup, I thought anyway, and. I actually got some good things second-hand. Not that I get everything second-hand, but this little building that I've got here, and the spiders all over the place at the moment. This little building that I've got here was actually second-hand as well. It's a great little building. It's fantastic detail. It just came as is like that. Very, very well weathered, and it did come with the bushes and everything. And I thought, well, that'd make a fantastic hay shed or a fantastic sort of, piggery, or as I'm using it there for, sort of dilapidated sort of stables for my horse scene there. And that was $10. So I thought, well, for $10, someone's put a lot of work into that, and it sort of suits the layout, particularly this area here, because this is my sort of country area, modelled in country Australia area. There, so I've had to drastically alter the trestle bridge. I spent hours making that trestle bridge, and I had to rip half of it to pieces, but I'll paint over the rough bits and obviously bush it in and that sort of thing. It'll come up fine. Everyone's still over here playing golf with some spiders as well. Got to find a way to get rid of all these spiders, but so this area here, I did have that track going along here. The last video I had, that's no longer. I'm not doing that anymore. I basically wanted to pinch the points. That was never a good track anyway. I always cheated with the curves on that track, and I was never happy with it. So I wanted to pinch the points So I've made that straight there, and over that side I've made that straight there, and it just comes back around here. And I've used the points over in my little W junction over there, putting the 2 tracks there into the 4 tracks, and possibly a 5th if I put a siding or something like that in there. This will just be a sort of a gorge type area, lots of trees and a bit of a trickle of water and things like that. So yeah, I've been making a lot of changes, but not really a lot that looks like anything. But it's coming along. In the next week or so, I should have my track down completed in its in the way that it's going to be. I'll then do. I'll paint. Actually, the baseboard. I'll paint the baseboard. Thanks to the suggestions from Dave Howarth on that. Paint the baseboard under the tracks grey before I ballast, because I'll be using a grey mixture. Before I ballast, I'll paint the tracks, and then of course in other spots I'll paint it green and whatever I need to for the scenery. But mostly under the tracks I'll do it all grey, so that when I put the ballast down it'll really sort of... On that part of the track there, I always had problems with the baseboard showing through, and it sounds simple, I just never thought to paint it underneath. So that was a really good tip. But I think that's about it for the moment. Yeah, until the next time, and hopefully I'll have a little bit more colour on there, because it's always nice to see colour and mountains and all that sort of thing. You get a bit bored of seeing wood, and I'm certainly bored of seeing all this wood, that's for sure. So until I bring the next update, as I said, any suggestions regarding the little loco down there would be fantastic, and changing decoders as well would be great, and catch up with you soon. Thanks for watching.